Alright, so we are back with the actual patch notes this time. I know this is a bit late, but it's okay. We're just gonna... I know we've got one day until the patch, so I figured we're gonna go over all the new cards, all the new changes. I'm really excited for the new patch actually with the quest system. So yeah, we're gonna get into it. I'm not gonna go over this, we're just gonna go over everything that's like a gameplay change, because that's what's important. We already kind of went over this in the last video anyway. So we got the quests. Once again, I went over all the actual quests themselves in the last video, so we're just gonna get into the new content. So we're gonna look at the rewards. So looks like, I think they said there's 24 of them in total. I'm not gonna count all these out, but I'm pretty sure that's what they said. But we're gonna go through all of them. So at the end of your turn, you get, and I'll give you my thoughts and everything. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Right before the next patch tomorrow, I'll be making videos, maybe a stream on all the new content, playing it tomorrow. So yeah, stay tuned for that, and let's get into it. So we got Snicker Snacks. At the end of your turn, you get two friendly minions trigger the battle cries. I actually like this one, especially if you're gonna be playing like Murlocs or something. That's gonna be pretty good. I don't think this one's too like OP. It can be in some scenarios maybe. It's good for discover effects too. You can just get some free card generation. In general, I think this one's gonna be pretty fun. I don't know it's gonna be that great. Like it's not gonna be like game breaking, but it's definitely good. So you got stolen gold at the start of combat. You're gonna make your left and right most minions golden. So that one's gonna be fun. I think there's a lot of good stuff you can do with this, especially if you got like a Baron. You can just turn it into a gold Baron. Whatever card you have first and on the left too. This one should be good. Again, I'm not sure it's gonna break the game in some scenarios. I don't know. A lot of these are fun. Like they might break the game in like a couple certain scenarios because there's just gonna be so much options and the game's gonna be a lot more fresh. So I'm really excited for the quests. You've got Evil Twin at the start of combat. Summon a copy of your highest health minion. So if you got like a Battle Master that's like super large, you can just leave a spot and get a second one. Should be pretty good. Overall, it's just making your highest health minion, like you're just getting another one of that, so that's pretty much always good. Then you've got Ritual Dagger. After a friendly Death Rattle minion dies, give it 4/4 permanently. So, I'm thinking now if you can somehow put Reborn onto a Death Rattle minion, and it comes back, I'm not sure if it'll work that way, but this one's just good for kind of passive scaling if you happen to have a bunch of Death Rattles. The problem is you actually do want the Death Rattles to die, but giving them 4/4 is going to make it harder for that to happen. If you can give them Taunt, might work. This one should be alright. After you sell a minion, you're going to give it stats to a minion in Bob's Tavern. That one's good. Like, that's a good passive to just kind of have throughout the game. Like, I'm liking... A lot of these are, like, pretty creative, actually. Like, that one should be fun to work with. You could definitely do something with Daryl with that one, I'm thinking. Yeah. I want to try Daryl with that quest now. Of course, you never guarantee that you can actually get it, but I like that. Also be good with pirates. I don't know. It should be pretty solid. You can intentionally stack a certain minion in Bob's. So you can pretty much become Daryl if you really think about it. Yeah, that one should actually be pretty fun. So you've got the devils and the details at the end of your turn. Oh, this is really good with the mill house. It's just one thing I just realized that could be really good. At the end of your turn, your left and right most minions are going to consume a minion in Bob's Tavern. So it pretty much turns you into Rag, except that instead of gaining 3/3, you're going to eat minions, which in some scenarios can be worse, but I think a lot of times can be better instead of gaining the 3/3. So I think that's a fun one. Should be pretty good. The Smoking Gun. Your minions have 5 attacks, one of the ones that we already knew about. Again, it pretty much just means you're just Deathwing, but like that's not that great. Like Deathwing's good, but like this isn't gonna win you the game. It can be really good tempo though, and there's definitely a lot of compositions you can kind of build around this, so it's not gonna be terrible, but I don't think it's gonna be. It's definitely not one of the ones that's like gonna be winning you the game. Cookbook. After you buy a minion, you give it 1/1 upgrade this. So this is really good if you're just like buying off. You can try to get like a pirate comp or something, or like anything that, again, Millhouse would be good with this. Anything that lets you just buy a bunch of minions would be good. Even elementals with Nomi would be good with this because like you're gonna be buying those minions to play them anyway, and then plus you're giving them another 1/1, or like then 2/2, then 3/3 and so on. So that's pretty good actually. Mirror Shield. After each refresh, give a minion Bob's Tavern 4/4 and Divine Shield. So that could be really good because you can land a Divine Shield on like a really, really good minion, then it just has that. Like, I'm liking this one. Again, I don't know. It depends. It really depends. But I do like it. I think it'll be fun. After you discover a card, you get an extra copy of it. So that's going to work with triples. Could work with like an Elise hero power, some other hero powers. So yeah, I think that's actually pretty good one. We'll see. Again, it depends on what hero you're playing or what comp you're playing, or you know, if you're on Murlocs too with a, you should be able to like, you get some card discovery. This is a lot of card discovery actually, so this one should be pretty good. You can get 2 of them, especially if you have a brand with that, right? Then you're just getting like four cards. I mean, you're just making money every discover card if you have a brand with this. Now, Ghastly Mask, add a random end of turn minion into your hand. Your end of turn effects trigger twice. Cool. So for some reason, you're just getting an end of turn minion. That's a bonus. Like, I think this is already good enough. But sure. So yeah, it's basically gonna be like the Ragnaros buddy when that was a thing, but you just get it as a passive, so that's really strong. That one was always one of my favorite ones to play, so definitely excited for that. Theotar's Parasol. At the end of your turn, you give your rightmost minion stealth, and until next turn, 8 health. So if you don't know what stealth is, if you don't play normal Hearthstone, they finally put it into Battlegrounds. It means that the minion cannot be attacked until it itself attacks. So it's giving it to your rightmost minion, so it's not going to attack for a while. So that minion is not going to be able to get hit. So you do that to like a Baron or like, you know, even a Soul Juggler, I guess, or something like that. Like, it's good. And it's getting the 8 health too. I believe the devs have confirmed actually that a zap can go through this because it attacks the lowest attack minion no matter what, so it doesn't even matter if it has stealth. However, you're getting the 8 health too, so unless that zap is buffed, that is going to be enough to protect the Baron. Like, exactly enough to protect the Baron, which is, I think, is why they chose 8 health. Then you've got Teal, Tiger, Sapphire. Minions and Bob's Tavern have 1/1 for each time it was refreshed that turn, so it's like the Nozdormu's buddy. This one I think is really good if you're playing like a demon comp, which is something I tried to do with Nozdormu a couple times, which I really liked. Yeah, I think this one should be pretty fun. But other than the whole demon thing, it might not be the greatest, but I do think that's definitely something you can use with it. Red hand here at the start of your turn, give a minion in your hand, 12/12. So I guess you're just kind of biding your time sometimes, and you just hold a minion in your hand. Give it 12/12. This one I don't think is actually great. Now that I think about it, this might be one of the worst ones. But it's still helpful in a lot of scenarios. I just don't think it's one I'd be picking personally. I could be wrong too. That's the fun part about making these predictions. So you've got Victim Spectre, actually, sorry. And then after each combat, you get a plain copy of the last friendly minion that died. So it's kind of like a Rafam, but it's your own minion. The thing is, it's not really going to be easy to plan what you're getting, like which of your minions is dying. Like, it does just work as, that's just a free card every turn. Like, that's a good thing, unless you somehow just don't have anyone die. The thing is, this is only going to give you kind of the card that you want, probably if you're losing. You don't really want to be losing, do you? So this is going to be hard to control exactly what you're getting. I do think it's a fun one and an interesting one, so we'll see about that. Now, Hidden Body. Discover a minion of your tavern tier and can be earned endlessly. So it's just going to be like whatever the quest is, you can just keep repeating that quest and get a minion. You discover a minion of your tavern tier. Should be pretty good. Should be pretty fun. Pretty simple though. Now you got Tiny Henchman at the end of your turn. Sorry, you give 2/2 to 3 friendly minions of tavern 3 or below. So like, I don't think this one's very good. It's definitely good tempo though, so that's, you know, if you're trying to do a tempo build, but it only works on Tavern Tier 3s. Like, ideally, you don't even really want to have that many of those cards, and it's only giving them 2/2 at the end of your turn. Obviously, this is going to be one of the ones that's, like, super easy to earn, so if you're just trying to go for some tempo, could work. Definitely, again, not going to win you the game. Yogg-tastic Tasties. At the start of your turn, spin the wheel of Yogg-Saron. This might be OP. It depends, because the Wheel of Yogg, I know there's some things that you kind of don't want it to give you, but if I remember correctly, there's nothing on the wheel that's like inherently bad. So, like, I'm pretty sure all of them is a buff in some sort of way. Nothing's actually negative. So in that case, every single turn you're getting like some sort of buff or some sort of like positive effect on your board or in your hand or whatever. I think this is actually going to be probably one of the stronger ones, but there is of course just that randomness factor, so you never know. It's always going to be a risk no matter what. You got the Wondrous Wisdom Ball, occasionally gives helpful refreshes. I would like Blizzard to define that. Does that mean that sometimes it's going to cost 0? Does that mean that sometimes, like, what does helpful mean? Like, you're gonna refresh and it's gonna give you like just a triple laying in front of you? Like, I don't exactly know what that means. I think it's probably something like that. Like the game AI will like kind of judge what it thinks is helpful. But until we really know more about that, I can't really judge that one. Staff of Origination at the start of combat, give your minions 15/15. I mean, that's just really strong. Just 15/15 to all your minions. Like, you've got 7 of them. That's gonna be a plus 135, right? That's crazy. And then, I mean, obviously it's not going to be permanent. I don't know if this works with Terragosa, but if it does, that's a 15/15 for your Terragosa every turn. So that's something you can do with it too. That one's pretty damn strong. Of course, it never is. I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say is it's not permanent, but it is permanent. It's just a permanent 15/15 buff to anything you have on the board, no matter what. No matter what minion you switch out, any minion, it still gets another 15/15. Like, every single one of your minions. That one's quite good, actually. Alter Ego. Even tier minions in Bob's Tavern have 6/6, and then it swaps the odd next turn. It's probably like a bit of a mid-tier one, like helps with tempo in the early game to mid-game. Could be interesting in some scenarios. Yeah, not quite sure about that one, but sorry guys, I'm also really tired today. I got like no sleep, but you know, we're out here filming this. The friends along the way. At the start of your turn, you get 2 random of a random minion type. It depends on which one it's gonna be. That one is sure. That's like, it's just good for economy. It'll help you out. Depending on what comp you're playing, you're probably gonna want to play whatever comp this ends up giving you. So sure, pretty good. Pilfered Lamps. This one I think is really interesting. You only need 2 copies of minion to make it golden. So you're just kind of stacking triples with this one. It would be the goal here. Like, only 2 to get a gold? Like, I don't think a lot of people understand how strong that really is. Like, cause there's a lot of time where you do have 2 and you just can never find that 3rd one. But like, sometimes it's easy to just get 2. Like, 2 brands, gold brand, 2 barons, it's golden baron, 2 like Calicos. Like, it's just, or is it is it Caligoses or Caligai? Either way, I mean, like, this is just, I think this one's really strong. It's probably going to be one of the harder ones to get. Then next, or finally, you've got Menagerie Mayhem, or Mayhem. So I guess it's like a piece of ham. I don't know. That's probably what the pun is. At the end of your turn, you're going to give your minions 1 attack for each friendly minion type. So it's not 1/1, it's just 1 attack. But like, a lot of times, you do like to have attack and like, you know, you'd want to have some cleaves. This is pretty much just like a worse Light Fang, but it doesn't take up a board spot. So yeah, and it does give it to 1. It does give each minion. No, it's not a worse. No, okay, I understand what this does now. I think I misread it. I thought it just meant 1 attack to each minion, but it's like 1 attack per friendly minion type that you have. So if you somehow accumulated 7, then you're just gonna get 7 attack on each of those minions. That's pretty good. So that's all the quest rewards. Now we're going to get into some new heroes and new cards. General updates, turn 4, right? We'll just go over this real quick again, is when you're going to get your quest, the 6 gold turn. This is an interesting one. Players can now exceed 10 gold when selling minions or otherwise gaining golds. Start of turn max is always still going to be 10, but you can now exceed 10. I like that because it means you don't have to play, like, you can just sell. If you have to sell things right at the beginning of a turn, you can just do that, and then you can kind of stack up your gold throughout the whole turn. It just makes it, it's just a quality of life change, and I think it's good. It's good. These are just the quests, whatever. Yeah, we'll go over those. It's not gameplay. These heroes we've already went over, so we won't look at them. And we're doing some hero changes, it looks like. So Rakinishu is now only going to cost 1 gold, and it gives a minion stats equal to its own tavern tier rather than your tavern tier. So I like that. I like that. I think that should help Rakinishu out. In some scenarios, this is going to be good, and some it's going to be bad. But yeah, I mean, if you tier up, get a minion higher, then you can use this, and it'll give it like 3/3, even though you're on 2. That's good, and it's costing 1 less. Overall, I like it. Patchwork, instead of 55, he's just gonna get 60 now, and then he still has armor too, I guess. So like, could be upwards of like 65 health or something that you get. Again, yeah, sure, I like it. I always thought Patchwork was fun. It's just sometimes having that extra health is just really all you need. You just need more time. Vandar, what does this do? It's redesigned. Avenge 2, give your minions 1 health permanently. I'm gonna be honest, I never played this hero before, so I don't know what it did previously, but isn't this the same thing? Did it not used to be a passive? Did you have to like use it or something? I don't... Either way, I still don't think this is that great, but it's alright. Looks like they've redesigned this one too. It's now Avenge 3, but you get the 1 attack permanently. Again, I thought this is always what it was. Now it's Avenge 3 instead of Avenge 2. Could it only happen once per turn or something? I don't know what the change is here. I'm sorry. Like, I just genuinely never played these two heroes, and I think they're still gonna be bad looking at these changes. So I don't even know what changed. They said it's redesigned, but I don't know what it is. Okay, they're changing Arana a bit, so Bob's Tavern is gonna always replenish the 7 minions. Even after you buy a minion, it'll just give you another one. So it just has 7 no matter what. Cool. Does this help her that much? I don't think so. But yeah. Unless it of course means that this passive is just active and you don't have to like complete it with the quest. However, I highly doubt that's what it is, because I think that would actually be really strong. I'm thinking she's not still going to be very great. They changed Flurgle here. After you sell 4, you gotta sell 4 of them now? Get a random What? Why would he was? Oh, okay, no. You sell 4 minions, you don't have to buy it. It doesn't put a Murloc in the shop. You just get it. It just gives it to you. That's an interesting change to, because it might give you like a shitty one that you don't want either. I'm interested to see how this will work. I'll definitely be playing Flurgle and trying him. I think a goal of mine is going to be to play every single hero in this new update too, and then probably make a video on that about the results of each hero. But yeah, this is interesting. I think it could be good, could be worse, could be better. I don't quite know actually. There's no text change, but the piggy bank can now store over 10 gold, which essentially means that they didn't do anything, because a lot of the time you're going to be using this before it even gets to 10 gold, or else it'll be pretty useless. So I'd say functionally this essentially changes nothing, because if you're not using it before you're getting it to 10 gold, like, it's kind of a waste, and that's kind of the point of this. I see is always to just kind of give yourself a bunch of money one turn, and that lets you tier up maybe twice, or tier up and also buy things. This I don't think is going to be too helpful. I don't think he's very good still. They're changing Gale Wing again. On one turn, instead of giving it 2 attack, you'll get 2/1. Sure. And then 5 turns, instead of your tavern tier costing 5 less, it'll cost 6 less. So it's just like a slight buff to Gale Wing. Gale Wing's not terrible either in its current state, so I think that's just kind of like pretty meh, to be honest. Okay, so now we're getting into some new minions, which is pretty exciting. I think we're getting like quite a few of them. And then we'll probably have some minions that are exiting, so we'll take a look at those later. Looks like they're trying to do a lot with demons here, as something I heard. So it's a 1/1, and it's going to consume a random minion Bob's Tavern. This is a pretty good tier 1 play, like, especially if you have like a good card, like maybe like a Bublet like in the shop. It just eats that. Like, that's now a 6/5 on turn 1. It's pretty good. Mind Muck. Choose a friendly demon and consumes minion Bob's Tavern. So it looks like what they're trying to do with demons now is just the whole consuming thing, which is, yeah, that's fine. You're gonna choose a friendly demon, and yeah, so you choose a different demon other than this, and then that'll consume. I like that because you can do it with amalgams and stuff for Menagerie too. Should be pretty solid. Another demon. It's a 4/1, and then Death Rattle. It's another 4/1. Sure. Demons always need cards that like summon. Another dragon. We get another dragon. It's interesting. At the end of your turn, give your dragons +1 attack. Oh, that's good. So at the very worst, this is going to be a 1/5 because I assume that means it's going to give it to itself as well. I mean, actually, that is kind of bad for a tier 2, a 1/5, but I mean in 2 turns it'll be a 2/5. Plus, if you have even one other dragon, that's already more value. So I think this is overall this is a good card. Another dragon, okay. Start of combat, you're gonna give another friendly dragon 3/3 and Divine Shield. Yeah, that's pretty solid. That's pretty solid. That just kind of helps the dragon tempo. If you have Terragosa, that's gonna gain that permanently, so that's pretty good. Overall, yeah, pretty good. We'll get a new tier 3 demon. Minions and Bob's Tavern have 2/2. So even without... So this is going to help with the whole eating thing, demon thing. I like what they're doing here with the demons. But like, even if this wasn't... If you're not playing demons, you can just pick up this card and then Minions and Bob's Tavern are just going to have 2/2 more, which is helpful for tempo, especially when you're only at tier 3. I like this. First Mate Pip, it's a 5/4. On tier 3, you'll need 2 copies of it to make this minion golden. I like that because it's just like a way to generate some triples. So, yeah, it's pretty good. Elise, after you refresh 5 times, find the golden monkey. What is the golden monkey? When the golden monkey is found, it appears in Bob's Tavern. The golden monkey is always golden, gives you triple more. So again, another way to just kind of generate gold cards and get triples. I like both of these because I think that's something, I don't know, I never thought about it, but that might be something we needed in Hearthstone to just be able to kind of get triples more consistently and more frequently. I like both of these cards a lot, actually. I'm really excited for what these are going to bring. Then you've got Rendell the Mistmite. We did go over this one already in the last video, but we'll do it again real quick. At the end of your turn, it's just going to steal the highest tier minion Bob's Tavern. Again, I don't think it's great. It does help with card generation, with your economy. It's not great, it's not terrible, it's just kind of like, should be pretty good. Tortolan Blue Shell, it's a tier 5. If you lost your last combat, this minion sells for 5 gold. And it's a 4/7, so it's like decently statted, I guess, for if you're buying it right away on 5. It's not terrible, it's not great. If you lost, so you just kind of buy this and then what? And you try to lose and then you'll get a 2 gold swing? Is that good? I don't think so. But sure. Then T-Master Theatar, again we already went over it. It's a Menagerie engine. After you play no minion type, you're going to give 3 minions of different types, 2/2. Again, like I said in the last video, I don't think it's very great because how often are you getting cards with no minion type and like being able to consistently like play them? Even if it's a jug, yeah, sure it'll help, but I don't know, I don't think this one's too great. Not if I mean I like it because it supports Menagerie, which is my favorite build, but I just don't think this is good. Minion updates. Okay, Toxfin's back. That's interesting. Kooky Chemist, Steward of Time, Bublet, Silverback Patriarch, Icky Imp, Nathrism Overseer. I think that's the one that just gives it 2/2. Soul Devourer. I think that's the one that's a 3/3 and eats your other demon. Briny Bootlegger, Xeris, Scalebane, Witchwing, Nest Matron, and Mithrax. Oh, and SI7, they're all gone. And then Toxfin is back to replace the SI7. So, honestly, I don't mind this other than Mithrax is a card I liked, but it was getting pretty underutilized, so I kind of see why they just took it out. I'm actually sad about Xeris too, because I think it's just a card that's fun, and I think we just need cards, a lot more cards that are just kind of fun. But a lot of this, Kooky Chemist, I am going to miss too, because there's some fun interactions you're able to do with it. But I mean, overall, like, a lot of these cards are just not too terribly important to the game, and they don't really seem to get played that often. So I think if there were any cards you were going to remove, these would be the ones to do. So I like what they're doing here. Okay, and then they're just going to switch a couple minions here, it looks like. So the Impulsive Trickster gets 1 extra health. Solid. They're really trying to help out demons here, it looks like. And then the Imprisoner gets moved to Tavern Tier 1. It's a 2/2 now instead of a 2/3. So that's actually really strong. Demons are going to be pretty strong early game. You still got Wrathweavers too. Then the Draconic Enforcer. It's going back to tier 4, and it's going to be a 3-7 this time instead of even a 3-6. This is good. I think it belonged more on tier 4 than tier 3, and having it be a 3-7 is a lot better than a 2-4. I think this is just good overall. That's it for Battlegrounds updates. Yeah. So this new patch is bringing a lot. It's gonna keep. I really like the quest because there's so many of them and they're so different, and a lot of them are actually pretty creative. So it's gonna keep the game like pretty fresh. We're getting some hero updates, some changes to, like, a lot of this just seems like, and a lot of the cards they removed too are like the cards that felt kind of stale. So like I think I'm excited to see how this is gonna change the game. Definitely gonna make everything, like, every game's gonna feel a lot more fresh now with the quest. I think it's a good addition. I think a lot of this is good additions. Yeah, I'm pretty excited for this next season of Battlegrounds here. So, and that'll be tomorrow. I'll be making videos on it. I'll definitely put out a video tomorrow. I might even do a stream. But yeah, I'll see you guys in that one. If you'd like to stick around for more Hearthstone content, if this is your first time watching one of my videos, you just stumble across it, like and subscribe if you like the video. We do a lot of Hearthstone around here, among other things. So yeah, see you guys in the next one.